Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I swear there's something wrong with these people. You know, again, people laugh at the president, they laugh at us when we say Trump derangement syndrome, but it's a real thing. It's a real psychological phenomenon. It is an illness. These people have a problem. The Trump administration, citing actual studies, warns the people, specifically pregnant people, not to take Tylenol while pregnant, and you got people on social media chugging Tylenol. If this president said stop drinking water, then leftoids would be walking around like dry SpongeBob. These people are allergic to good news or good information if it comes from President Trump. And now here it's happening again, as the president brings an end to the war in Israel. Well, just let me show you the leftist degeneracy that he's now dealing with. Holy frickin' moly, Trump derangement syndrome is a hell of a sickness. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's start off with this viral clip that's currently bouncing around the internet. We got the president walking into the Israeli parliament to give a speech after securing one of the most significant diplomatic breakthroughs in history, certainly modern history. And what happens? Well, take a look at these leftoids in the Israeli parliament.
Over and over again. להוציא את חבר הכנסת עודה, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה, החוצה, להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף, להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם, להוציא אותם מיד. Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Please.
That was very efficient.
They start heckling him like a bunch of rabid ghouls, and it got so bad that security had to remove them from the chamber. These people are so consumed by hatred, they're so emotionally broken, they're so ideologically possessed that they would rather publicly humiliate themselves than show respect for even a single second. You know, it reminds me of every single time Donald Trump does his State of the Union. It's the same kind of pathetic antics, whether it's Nancy Pelosi ripping up his speech or what we saw the last time with these Democrats refusing to clap for a cancer survivor, showing up with their pathetic little signs. These leftoids have just completely lost their minds. You know, you hear a lot of people joking that it's easier for President Trump to negotiate with Hamas than it is with leftists. And honestly, I think that's becoming way too real. President Trump can sit down with the Taliban, he could sit down with Hamas leaders, foreign adversaries, Vladimir Putin, literal militants, and have more productive dialogue than with Democrats. And now, of course, it doesn't apply to all leftists. There are some people on the left, like this Democrat, who see the writing on the wall and recognize this as a moment where they just have to show respect.
This achievement, and it is a significant achievement, would not have happened without United States leadership. President Trump deserves a lot of credit for bringing the parties together.
But of course, it's not all Democrats. It's not all leftists. Now, of course, again, some people are so ideologically possessed that they can't do it. In comes MSNBC's analysis, where instead of giving credit where credit is due, they start with, Donald Trump continues to undermine constitutional norms, and oh, this is unfinished business.
President Trump continues to undermine the very norms and institutions of constitutional governance, despite the fact that in his inaugural oath, he's legally obligated to protect them. At the same time, no American president, probably since Dwight Eisenhower, has been willing to exert this kind of pressure on an Israeli prime minister. It was inherently a pro-Israeli document, and the prime minister saw it and could make changes before, which has been standard operating procedure, the way we've behaved in negotiations in the past. I think if it's going to work, I think Donald Trump is going to have to show an extraordinary degree of focus and determination. And I worry here. He's already identified solving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as the 8th conflict that he's resolved. And I think this is going to absolutely be critically important in the weeks and months ahead, that he not lose his interest, that he maintain that focus. American leadership, by and large, I would argue, was the determining factor that led to today.
Or there's the typical left-wing take on social media.
I will not be celebrating that Donald Trump ended the war in Gaza, because he didn't. If anybody deserves to be recognized and praised for their efforts in ending this conflict, which is still not entirely ended, it is the people of Palestine. The people of Palestine have relentlessly fought for decades for liberation to still not entirely have it. So no, I will not be praising Donald Trump or his administration for ending the war, ending the conflict, getting the ceasefire deal, because it wasn't him. It was not Donald Trump that did this. It was the perseverance and the persistence of the Palestinian people that got us to where we are, that got them to where they are.
And then, of course, the bottom feeders on X and other social media platforms who seem to be more focused on trying to drum up some fake scandal out of a nothing burger hot mic moment between President Trump and the president of Indonesia. Here's a post from Call to Activism. Oh my God! Trump and Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto have just been caught on hot mic discussing a deal? ? He asked to speak with Trump's son Eric and Don Jr., who do not work in the government. Did we just hear a major crime happen?
Is in a region not safe security. Can I meet Eric? Yeah, I'll have Eric call. Yeah. Such a good boy. I'll have Eric call. Thank you. That's what I told Harry also. I told Harry we'll look for better places. All of them.
First of all, I'd like to add that you know who else didn't work for the government? Hunter frickin' Biden. But these leftoids didn't seem to pay no mind to those scandals, no, of course. But here we don't even understand the context and what's happening. Certainly not a major crime, but this is the rhetoric that's going on following this peace deal. This is what Democrats are doing, trying to build more hoaxes and more fake news, more fake scandals. These absolute frickin' roaches, not even for a single second can they get themselves to do the right thing. And again, it's proof that these people are broken. They are terminally broken. President Trump could cure cancer tomorrow and they would run headlines like, ooh, experts worry that Trump's solution to cancer may hurt big pharma and healthcare jobs. President Trump destroys the healthcare sector. Hundreds of thousands expected to lose their jobs as he cures cancer. It's unbelievable. And really, here's the truth. Again, these people prove that they're not good people. Good people celebrate peace. Normal people appreciate when lives are saved, when wars are avoided, especially when you've been going on and on about this genocide happening, and now it seems the president has put an end to it. But no, it's not good enough. Bad people, bitter people act like this. They show resentment, even in these moments where it would be idiotic, very ill-advised to do so. The modern left exposes exactly who they are every time Trump succeeds. They're hateful, they're dishonest, they're hyper-emotional clowns who would rather see the world burn than see Donald Trump ever succeed. And frankly, if you can't put your politics aside for even 1 second to acknowledge peace, something objectively good, you are the problem. You're not the moral side. You're not the side of compassion. You are sick in the head. You're the side of politics that needs to be defeated, removed from power permanently. And honestly, I don't even know what they're thinking just from a political strategy, political calculus point of view. Obviously, this horrible behavior once again is going to reflect badly on you, just like your behavior following the Charlie Kirk assassination. You know, if you have nothing nice to say, better not to say anything. Better to shut up. But these ghouls obviously don't have basic common sense, the kind of common sense that your mother teaches you as a kid. And yet they expect us to constantly take their lectures and build policy and society around their wishes and their worldview. Get the basics right before lecturing anybody else. How about that? Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.